All right, today we're going to talk about something called Databricks Delta Sharing. Now I know, the name sounds a bit technical, but what it really is a super clever solution to a problem that has been a massive headache for, well, decades. How in the world do you share huge amounts of data with other people securely and without pulling your hair out?
I mean, really think about it. Have you ever been in that spot where you have to send a giant data set to a partner or a customer or even just another team in your own company? You already know it's going to be a pain. It's just a mess of friction, security worries, and frankly, it's just plain annoying.
For years, the way we've done this has been, let's be honest, pretty terrible. We've dealt with clunky old FTP servers, tried to send insecure email attachments that just get blocked anyway, or we've managed this crazy tangled web of API keys. But the worst part, the absolute worst, is all the constant data copying. It's a version control nightmare. Suddenly you've got 10 copies of your data floating around and you have no idea who has the latest version. And your data is now in places you can't control at all.
But what if there was a completely different way to think about this? Well, that's exactly what Delta Sharing does. It just flips that entire broken model right on its head.
Okay, here is the big fundamental idea, so lean in for this. Instead of making copies of your data and sending them out into the world, Delta Sharing lets you give someone secure, live, read-only access directly to the data right where it already lives. No more copies, no more data escaping your control. That's the whole game.
So, to really get how this works, we just need to meet the three key players in this little story. They're super simple, but they're the building blocks for this whole system.
First up, you've got the provider. This one's easy. This is the person or the company that has the data and wants to share it. So if you're the one sharing, you're the provider. Simple.
And of course, where there's a provider, there's got to be a recipient. This is who you're sharing the data with. They're the ones who are going to get access to whatever you decide to share.
And finally, there's the share itself. Now, this is important. The share is not a copy of your data. Think of it more like a secure little package, a container that points to the specific tables or views that the provider has carefully selected for the recipient. Now, here's what's really cool. This whole system is incredibly flexible. Because let's face it, not everyone you work with is using the same tools. So Delta Sharing gives you two different ways to do this, two different flavors.
On one hand, you have Databricks-to-Databricks sharing. This is perfect, super streamlined for when the person you're sharing with also uses Databricks. They just give you this thing called a sharing identifier, and boom, you create a direct link between your two workspaces. But then you have open sharing, and honestly, this is the real game changer. This lets you share with anyone, no matter what tech they're using. It just spits out a secure activation link, and they can pull the data right into tools they already use every day, like PowerBI, pandas, or even Excel.
And you know, for that Databricks-to-Databricks flow, the process is just beautifully simple. The provider puts the data they want to share into one of those shares, they add the recipient using their special identifier, and bam! Just like that, the share just appears in the recipient's workspace. They mount it, and they can start querying your live data instantly.
And the open sharing way? It's just as easy. The recipient gets an email with a secure link. They click it, download a tiny little credential file, and they can plug that right into their favorite tool and get live access. No complex setup, no IT tickets. It just works.
Okay, but this is the part where Delta Sharing goes from being just a nice, convenient tool to being an absolute superpower for anyone who cares about data governance, and it's all about control. So just imagine this scenario with me. You've shared a dataset with a partner. They're in there, they're querying it live, building dashboards, getting insights. Everything is humming along perfectly. But then a few months go by, and the project is over. The contract is up. Now, in the old world, this is when that little knot of anxiety starts to form in your stomach, right? You sent them copies. Where are they now? Did they delete them? Can you even be sure? With Delta Sharing, you don't have to wonder. You don't have to hope. As the provider, you just go into your Databricks workspace, find that recipient, and you click one button, Revoke. And poof, the moment you click it, their access is gone. Not in an hour, not the next day, instantly. The next query they run will fail. Their dashboards will go blank. It's over, that immediate. So how is that even possible? It's because of that core idea we talked about. The data never, ever moved. It never left your secure cloud environment. All you ever gave them was a secure, authenticated pointer to it. And when you clicked Revoke, you just took that pointer back. It is the ultimate form of data security and control. So when you step back and look at the whole picture, you realize this isn't just some new feature. It's really a fundamental shift in how we can think about collaborating with data. So let's just recap the big wins here. First, you get this unbelievable level of security, being able to grant and revoke access on a dime. Second, you finally have a true single source of truth. No more data silos or version conflicts. Third, you gain a ton of efficiency because you can stop building and fixing all those fragile data copy pipelines. And finally, with open sharing, you get universal collaboration. You can work with anyone on any platform.
So I'll just leave you with this one thought to chew on. For so long, the risk and the hassle of physically moving data has limited what we could do. It's been a barrier. But what if that barrier's gone? If your data never has to move again, if you can share it securely and instantly with literally anyone, what new partnerships, what new products, what new insights are suddenly possible? Think about that.